In the year 2245, humanity's reach had extended far beyond Earth, colonizing the Moon, Mars, and establishing mining operations on several moons and asteroids within the solar system. Among these, Titan, Saturn's largest moon, proved to be a treasure trove of resources critical for the continued expansion of human colonies. It was here, beneath the icy surface in the sprawling labyrinth of night, that the course of human history would abruptly pivot. Dr. Ava Chen, the lead geologist of the Titan Frontier Mining Corps, was overseeing a routine subsurface drilling operation when the ground-penetrating radar picked up an anomalous reading. It appeared to be a large metallic object buried beneath layers of ice and rock, distinctly different from any natural formation previously cataloged on Titan. Excitement and curiosity surged through the mining crew as they carefully excavated around the object. It was a massive, oblong artifact, made of a material that shimmered with an iridescent glow under the floodlights of their equipment. The surface was etched with intricate, undecipherable glyphs that pulsed softly with a light of their own, hinting at some form of latent energy. The decision to activate the artifact was made with a mixture of scientific curiosity and the ever-present human desire to push the boundaries of the known. Dr. Chen, alongside a team of xenoarchaeologists specially flown in from Earth, initiated the artifact using a combination of techniques derived from their studies of ancient alien relics found in Mars's subsoil. Upon activation, the artifact hummed to life, vibrating with a low frequency that was felt rather than heard. It projected a beam of light skyward that pierced the dense Titan atmosphere, signaling deep into space. The response was almost immediate and unforeseeable. Within hours, Titan's orbit was swarmed with sleek, metallic ships, unlike anything humanity had ever constructed. Their designs were highly efficient, utterly alien, and their intentions soon became unquestionably clear. The first of the alien ships made a slow, menacing pass over the mining site. It scanned the area and then, without warning, unleashed a barrage of energy pulses. The mining outpost's defenses, primarily designed for meteor showers and pirate raids, were woefully inadequate. Buildings crumbled, equipment exploded, and chaos ensued. As the survivors scrambled for cover, Earth's military, monitoring the situation from a distant command center, was put on high alert. Military and scientific leaders were hastily convened to interpret this unprecedented threat. Initial excitement about first contact with an intelligent alien species quickly soured into a desperate scramble to understand and respond to the hostile actions. The artifact on Titan had acted as a beacon, and humanity was soon to learn that it had not just called out to the cosmos. It had awakened a formidable foe. As reports of attacks began coming in from other human outposts in the solar system, it became clear that the alien response was part of a coordinated assault. Humanity was at war, with an enemy whose reasons remained as mysterious and unreachable as the dark side of a distant moon. The fight for survival had just begun, and it was a fight that would test the very limits of human ingenuity, courage, and the will to endure. The attack on Titan was just the beginning. Within hours, the same sleek, ominous vessels that had decimated the mining outpost began appearing in greater numbers throughout the solar system. Reports flooded in from Mars, the Moon, and the various asteroid belt colonies, each account more desperate than the last. Humanity's initial disbelief quickly morphed into a widespread panic as the full scope of the alien onslaught became evident. The aliens, soon dubbed the Silencers by the media, exhibited a terrifying level of technological superiority. Their ships, capable of incredible speeds and agile maneuvers, seemed to phase in and out of visibility, hinting at advanced cloaking technologies. Their weapons, primarily energy-based, easily bypassed the conventional defenses that human colonies had in place. It was as if they had studied human technology and engineered their arsenal to exploit every conceivable weakness. On Earth, global defense networks that had been designed to counter threats ranging from rogue nations to asteroid impacts were mobilized. Orbital platforms and ground-based missile systems were retasked to target the incoming ships, but the results were uniformly disheartening. The silencer ships effortlessly evaded missile locks, and when hit, their hulls absorbed or deflected the impacts with little to no damage. Amidst this chaos, an emergency session of the United Nations was called. World leaders, military strategists, and top scientists convened in a fortified bunker beneath Geneva, struggling to formulate a response. The meeting was tense, with many calling for immediate aggressive action, while others pleaded for attempts at communication with the invaders. Dr. Elena Mirov, a leading astrophysicist, presented a chilling analysis during the session. Satellite data and intercepted communications indicated that the silencer's fleet was not merely attacking human outposts, but was systematically encircling Earth, cutting off escape routes and supply lines. Their strategy was clear: isolate, contain, eradicate. As Earth's leaders debated, the silencers launched a coordinated strike against major spaceports and satellite arrays. The message was clear: no help would come from the outside, and no one on Earth could escape. The strikes were precise, leaving key infrastructure in ruins and causing catastrophic casualties. The silencers were not just conquering, they were making an example of humanity's hubris in reaching for the stars. In desperation, a high-risk plan was formulated by Admiral Lucas Ward, a decorated naval commander. This plan, dubbed Operation Last Stand, involved gathering the remaining operational military spacecraft from around the Earth and the Moon for a direct assault on what was believed to be the command ship of the silencers, currently positioned in geostationary orbit above the Atlantic Ocean. Meanwhile, as humanity prepared its counterattack, the silencers began their descent toward Earth. Their ships, glowing ominously against the night sky, started deploying ground forces unlike any terrestrial life form. These beings, encased in shimmering suits, seemed to float down from their ships, landing in major urban areas and immediately engaging with defense forces. The first ground encounters were brutal. Human weaponry barely left a mark on the alien combat suits, which were equipped with an array of advanced armaments. From energy beams to unknown chemical agents, they pushed back Earth's already faltering defenses. As Admiral Ward's fleet launched into the cold, starlit sky for what might be Earth's last battle, the world watched in a mix of fear and defiance. Hope was slim, but it was driven by the unyielding human spirit, a spirit not ready to be silenced in the face of this cosmic threat. As the grim reality of Earth's situation sank in, scattered pockets of resistance began to form across the globe. With major military installations targeted and destroyed, civilian and military leaders alike realized that conventional warfare was futile against the silencers. It was during these darkest hours that an unlikely group of heroes began to rally together, forming the backbone of what would soon be known as the Earth Defense Resistance, EDR. Dr. Elena Mirov, who had previously presented her analysis of the silencers at the emergency UN session, emerged as a key figure in the resistance. She proposed an audacious plan to turn the aliens' technology against them. Collaborating with other surviving scientists and engineers, she focused on capturing an intact silencer ship to understand and hopefully exploit its technology. Simultaneously, Captain Jack Riles, a former space pilot with experience in guerrilla warfare, was organizing hit-and-run tactics on the alien ground forces. His reputation for bold and unorthodox strategies quickly attracted a diverse group of fighters: pilots, hackers, former mercenaries, and even civilian volunteers desperate to reclaim their planet. In an extraordinary feat, Riles and his team managed to down a silencer scout ship using improvised electromagnetic pulses from salvaged satellite components. The ship crash-landed in the Mojave Desert, relatively intact. Dr. Mirov's team, escorted by Riles and his fighters, quickly secured the site, repelling silencer recovery units until they could extract what they needed. Inside the alien craft, the team found a treasure trove of technology. The ship's power source was unlike anything they had ever seen: compact, efficient, and apparently capable of harnessing quantum fluctuations. The navigation systems offered insights into the silencer's tactics and potential weak spots in their fleet formations. Utilizing a secured military base in the Rocky Mountains as their headquarters, the EDR began the complex process of reverse engineering the alien technology. Dr. Mirov theorized that the silencers might be vulnerable to their own weaponry, modified and redirected. Working around the clock under her guidance, the team developed prototypes of energy weapons capable of breaching the alien suits and ship hulls. Meanwhile, as Earth's skies darkened under the shadow of the silencer fleet, propaganda spread by the invaders demoralized the remaining civilian populations. The silencers broadcasted messages, claiming that resistance was futile and promising mercy to those who would surrender. However, Captain Riles, utilizing hijacked communication networks, began broadcasting rallying calls to resist and fight back, sharing news of their small victories and the possibility of turning the alien technology against them. As these broadcasts reached wider audiences, more survivors were inspired to join the resistance. From the ruins of cities and hidden enclaves in mountains and forests, a global network began to form, sharing intelligence, resources, and hope. Small mobile units trained in the use of the new weapons started to make significant gains, reclaiming territories and capturing more alien equipment. The formation of the Earth Defense Resistance marked a turning point. For the first time since the invasion began, humanity was not just surviving, it was fighting back. With each skirmish, they learned more about their enemy and, more importantly, about themselves and the lengths to which they would go to protect their home. As Earth's resistance coalesced, Dr. Elena Mirov's role became increasingly pivotal. The enigmatic silencers, who had seemed almost invincible in their initial assaults, were beginning to show cracks in their armor, figuratively and literally. The reverse-engineered technology gleaned from the captured silencer ship provided not only new weapons but also valuable insights into the biology and psychology of the invaders. Inside the secured laboratory at the Rocky Mountains base, Dr. Mirov and her team conducted a thorough analysis of the silencer technology and the few remains of fallen enemies. The creatures were found to be biotechnological hybrids, with organic components seamlessly integrated with mechanical enhancements. This revelation was key to understanding their methods of communication and control, which appeared to be directed through a hive mind-like network. A breakthrough came when Dr. Mirov's team managed to access the data core of the downed scout ship. The core contained detailed astrological charts and historical logs of the silencer's previous conquests. It became painfully clear that Earth was not the first planet to encounter them. The silencers were a nomadic civilization, moving from one star system to another, stripping planets of their resources before moving on. Each log detailed a systematic extermination of resistance, followed by complete ecological and resource extraction. Armed with this knowledge, the resistance was able to anticipate some of the silencers' moves, setting up successful ambushes and avoiding major traps. Furthermore, the data revealed that the silencers were particularly sensitive to specific frequencies, a vestige of their original evolutionary design, before becoming the cybernetic conquerors they were now. This information provided a new avenue for weapon development, specifically sonic weapons that could exploit this vulnerability. In parallel, Captain Jack Riles spearheaded the efforts to spread this newfound knowledge to other resistance cells globally. Under his leadership, the EDR began a series of coordinated attacks that targeted the silencers' communication arrays and supply lines, using the sonic weapons to great effect. The weapons caused disorientation and malfunction in the silencers' biotechnological suits, giving human forces a much-needed edge in ground battles. Moreover, as more silencer equipment was captured and analyzed, the resistance uncovered the existence of a primary command module, a mothership that coordinated the silencer's global operations. The prospect of targeting this mothership became the central focus of the resistance's strategy, hoping that disabling it would cripple the silencer's operational capabilities on Earth. Throughout this period of intense conflict and discovery, Dr. Mirov also worked to decipher more of the silencer language and culture. Understanding their communications not only facilitated better predictions of their strategic moves, but also opened the possibility of hacking into their systems. The resistance began experimenting with cyber warfare, attempting to send disruptive commands into the silencer network. As Chapter 4 closes, the EDR has transformed from a desperate band of survivors into a sophisticated and coordinated military force, wielding an array of advanced technologies and strategies. With a clearer understanding of their enemy and the means to exploit their weaknesses, humanity's fight against the silencers enters a new phase. The stakes remain high, but hope, fueled by ingenuity and the indomitable human spirit, has been rekindled. With the discovery of the silencer's vulnerability to certain sonic frequencies, the Earth Defense Resistance, EDR, entered a new phase of tactical innovation. Dr. Elena Mirov, leading a team of physicists and engineers, devoted her efforts to developing a range of sonic weapons that could exploit this newfound weakness. These weapons ranged from handheld devices for ground troops to larger mounted systems that could be installed on vehicles and aircraft. The first successful prototype was a rifle-sized device that emitted a concentrated blast of sound at a frequency that was particularly disorienting to the silencers. Field tests showed that the sonic rifles could temporarily incapacitate the silencers, causing their control systems to malfunction and leaving them vulnerable to attack. The news of this successful weapon spread quickly among the resistance cells, and mass production began in hidden factories across the world. Captain Jack Riles, recognizing the potential of these new weapons, organized a series of hit-and-run attacks on silencer patrols. These skirmishes were not only successful in disrupting the enemy's operations, but also served as live testing grounds for refining the sonic weapons. Feedback from the field was used to adjust the frequency ranges and intensities, making the devices even more effective. The development of sonic weaponry also facilitated the recovery of more territories under silencer control. In a particularly daring raid, Riles led a team that liberated a major coastal city. Using a combination of guerrilla tactics and sonic weapons, they overwhelmed the silencer forces, marking the first major city to be reclaimed by humans. This victory provided a significant morale boost to the resistance worldwide and demonstrated the feasibility of reclaiming Earth city by city. Emboldened by these successes, Dr. Mirov and her team developed an even more ambitious weapon, the Sonic Emitter Array, SEA. The SEA was designed to be a large-scale, high-powered version of the handheld devices, capable of covering a much larger area and affecting multiple silencer units simultaneously. The first deployment of the SEA was planned to protect a strategic resistance stronghold. The operation to install and activate the SEA was fraught with risk. The resistance had to transport the components through silencer-patrolled territory to a mountaintop that overlooked a key valley, a route through which the silencers frequently moved reinforcements. In a tense, overnight operation, Riles and a team of elite fighters escorted the engineers tasked with assembling the SEA. Despite a few close encounters with enemy patrols, they successfully installed the array just as dawn broke. The first test of the SEA was a resounding success. As a silencer convoy entered the valley, the array was activated, emitting a powerful sonic wave that swept through the area. The effects were immediate and devastating. Silencer units staggered, their coordination disrupted, and their systems overloaded by the sonic assault. Resistance fighters waiting in ambush quickly capitalized on the confusion, dealing a significant blow to the enemy forces. This victory demonstrated the potential of sonic technology, not just in small engagements, but as a key element in larger strategic operations. News of the successful use of the SEE inspired other resistance cells to implement similar installations in their own territories, turning previously vulnerable areas into fortified strongholds. As the chapter closes, the resistance is no longer seen as mere survivors fighting for scraps of their planet. They are a formidable force, increasingly confident in their ability to challenge the silencers and reclaim their world. With each successful deployment of their new sonic weapons, they inch closer to a coordinated global offensive aimed at decisively turning the tide of the war. As Earth's resistance gained momentum and refined their tactics, the global offensive known as Operation Thunder Echo was planned. The operation aimed to utilize the network of sonic emitter arrays, SEAs, across strategic locations worldwide to disrupt silencer operations simultaneously, creating a window for a massive, coordinated attack. The ultimate goal was to pave the way for a direct assault on the silencer mothership, believed to be orchestrating the invasion from orbit. Captain Jack Riles was appointed the operations commander, overseeing the intricate coordination required among the various resistance cells. Each cell was responsible for attacking key silencer strongholds in their region, timed to coincide with the activation of the Seas. This synchronization was critical, as it would prevent the silencers from regrouping and launching counterattacks. The night before Operation Thunder Echo was to commence, the resistance fighters prepared under a veil of tension and grim determination. For many, this operation represented a turning point, a real chance to reclaim their planet or die trying. Captain Riles addressed his troops via encrypted channels, his speech broadcasting from shadowed woods, ruined cities, and hidden bases, instilling a final surge of courage. As dawn broke, the operation kicked off with the simultaneous activation of the Seas around the globe. The effect was staggering. The silencers, caught off guard by the scale and coordination of the sonic attacks, found their communication and control systems severely disrupted. The eerie wails of the Seas echoed through cities and valleys, signaling the resistance fighters to move in. In North America, Europe, Asia, and other regions, battles raged with renewed intensity. Human forces, empowered by their sonic weapons and fueled by months of preparation, fought with everything they had. The silencers, struggling to maintain control, were forced into defensive positions. Reports of victories began to trickle in from around the world, each one boosting the morale and resolve of the fighters. Meanwhile, in space, a specialized team led by Captain Riles himself prepared for the most daring part of the operation, boarding and sabotaging the silencer mothership. Using a modified shuttle with stealth capabilities based on the technology recovered from downed silencer crafts, Riles and his team approached the massive ship undetected. The boarding was perilous. The team, equipped with the latest armor and weapons, including portable sonic disruptors, breached the mothership's hull. Inside, they encountered minimal resistance at first, as the ship's crew was disoriented by the global sonic assaults. Riles's team planted a series of explosive charges and a powerful central sonic bomb designed to disrupt the ship's core systems permanently. As they fought their way back to their shuttle, the resistance on Earth reached a crescendo. The global seas continued to blare, and the silencer's ground forces, unable to receive coherent orders or reinforcements, faltered and began to retreat. The explosions from Riles's charges rocked the mothership, which began to drift, its systems failing. By the time Riles and his team made their escape, the mothership was irreparably damaged, drifting out of orbit and sending out distress signals. With their command structure in disarray and their mothership incapacitated, the silencer forces on Earth grew increasingly disorganized. Operation Thunder Echo concluded with a global celebration as news of the mothership's downfall spread. The resistance had not only survived, but had dealt a critical blow to the invaders. As Earth's people started to come out from hiding and reclaim their cities, the atmosphere was one of cautious optimism. The tide had indeed turned, but the war was not yet over. The next phase would involve consolidating these gains and ensuring that Earth could never be threatened in this way again. In the aftermath of Operation Thunder Echo, the Earth Defense Resistance, EDR, mobilized for the final phase of the conflict, known as Operation Homecoming. With the silencer mothership neutralized and their forces in disarray, the focus shifted to clearing remaining alien strongholds and securing Earth's future against any further threats. The global strategy involved systematic sweeps of previously occupied territories, using both ground forces equipped with sonic weaponry and aerial support to ensure that no silencer units could regroup. Captain Jack Riles, hailed as a hero for his daring assault on the mothership, led the charge on these missions, his leadership inspiring confidence and resolve among the troops. As cities and towns were liberated, Dr. Elena Mirov and her team of scientists worked to adapt silencer technology for human use, ensuring that Earth would be better prepared for any future extraterrestrial threats. This technology also facilitated rapid rebuilding efforts, with advanced construction machines and energy systems quickly restoring damaged infrastructure. In one of the final clearing operations, a significant discovery was made. A hidden silencer facility was uncovered beneath the surface of what was once a bustling urban center. Inside, human prisoners were found, survivors of earlier abductions used for horrific experiments. The rescue of these individuals not only reunited families, but also provided humanity with first-hand knowledge of silencer methods and intentions. The liberation of these prisoners was widely publicized, galvanizing the world community and highlighting the resilience and unity of human spirit. Stories of survival and bravery circulated, weaving a new tapestry of human lore that would be remembered for generations. As the last of the silencer enclaves were defeated, Earth's leaders convened to discuss the formation of a new global alliance. This alliance would focus on rebuilding the world and securing it against any future invasions. The United Nations was transformed into the United Earth Alliance, a more robust and technologically advanced organization, with a new focus on space defense and exploration. A year after the first silencer ship had touched down on Titan, Captain Riles stood before a massive crowd in New York City, now fully restored. He delivered a speech that was broadcast worldwide, reflecting on the lessons learned and the future ahead. He spoke of the courage shown by countless individuals who stood up in the face of annihilation, the sacrifices made, and the importance of unity and peace. "We have looked into the abyss," he said, "and from it we have drawn strength. Today we stand not just as survivors, but as architects of our future. Let this be a new beginning, one where we look to the stars, not with fear, but with resolve and wonder." As peace returned, Earth began to send out messages to other civilizations in the galaxy. These messages, filled with accounts of humanity's resilience and calls for peaceful coexistence, were a beacon of hope. Humanity was no longer exploring the stars in solitude, but as part of a larger community, ready to share and learn from others. The final chapter of this conflict closed not with a whimper, but with a vibrant celebration of human potential and a solemn remembrance of those lost. Earth had not only survived, it had emerged stronger and more united, ready to face whatever challenges the future might bring.